Hi, Stitchers.
Hi, I'm Keisha.
I'm Laura, and welcome to the Pattern Queens episode 79. Today is Sunday, January 9th, 2022, and this is a channel about cross stitch.
And friendship and rambles and lots of shenanigans and the first video of the
Yay! A round of applause.
Yes.
As the kids at school would say.
Right.
If you are new here, thank you for joining us. As you can tell, we are off and running. And the silliness will ensue, and that will be okay. And thank you for joining us. And if you're coming back, yay! Thank you so much. I think I have been negligent in answering comments on our videos. We took the month of December off, and towards the end there, I really took it seriously because I was out of school too.
Right.
And I really, Katie and I sat and stitched a lot. And that's what we got done, was a lot of stitching.
Well, that's nice though, to be able to unplug a little bit.
Yep. So that was kind of my update. How about you?
Right. Well, as you all saw, if you haven't saw, James and I opened up all of the presents from the Nice List Advent box from the Black Needle Society. It was great. And I had this whole thing like planned for Christmas, and we didn't film until the very end of Christmas Day, and little boy was ready to go to sleep. So he was pretty much like asleep on me while I opened up that last present. And for those of you who are watching it, that Christmas tree is the Christmas tree at my parents' house, and my mom filmed it. So just in case you wanted some behind the scenes on that one.
So sweet. And also, you guys didn't feel well either.
No. So James,
which you didn't tell me till later, but man.
Right. Well, James was pretty sleepy that day, and I thought it was just the excitement of Christmas. And then that night he didn't sleep well, so I didn't sleep well. And we went and we had another Christmas celebration. And then on the way home, I was having a hard time staying awake, which I'm not a person who sleeps in the car. And got home, I had a fever. Next morning, I still had a fever and a cough and a headache and runny nose, sore throat. Went and got tested for COVID, negative. So I'm not sure if I had the flu or what happened, but that whole week after Christmas, James and I just stayed home, and my husband played our nurse. So, but we're on the mend now. I still have a little bit of a cough, but don't worry. Like I said, not COVID. So thank goodness, because I had been around some people. So
if she starts to cough, we're going to say the name and everybody's going to take a drink.
Yes. Good plans.
The other thing that happened with us is that on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, Katie and I sat and did 22 new starts for 2022. Wow. And they're just projects that, we've wanted to get kitted up and get started and get some things done. And it took a lot to get things kitted up. We must have run to the store a half dozen times easily, because we would get back home and one of us would be like, oh no, I'm missing this. And it was mostly floss.
Right.
But we did that. And then where we started these was with the Black Needle Society on Zoom meetups. So it was a lot of fun. We had a ton of people who came and chatted with us, and we just had such a good time. And a lot of us started the river, which, I did not bring those 22 to show you. If you are interested in seeing what all we started, you'll have to go look at the video Katie and I did on the Black Needle, where we show the projects. It just 22 projects. I'm not going to make Keisha sit through those because I already have a stack by me.
Right. Well, that's what happens whenever we take a couple weeks off. We just have a whole lot of things to show.
Oh, and technically today would be a day for a stitch with us. Yes. But we elected to just kind of catch up and do maybe a wrap up and a plans and all the things that are going on.
Yeah. never know what you're going to get over here, really.
We'll figure it out.
Right.
Okay, Keisha, what did you finish at the end of 2021?
Okay, so I finished a couple of things. So the first thing I finished while we were away is Christmas Memories from Mill Hill. And this was my 25/7 piece, and I actually finished him on Christmas. So I just
He's
love
so
him.
cute. And
His beard and mustache are a little wonky. It's fine.
Oh, I think you did a great job on that.
Oh, thank you. So a lot of French knots, but not too bad. Some beads. I really like him a lot. And this was one of this year. Excuse me. This was one of the 2021 Santas. There's a couple more. I have them, and I definitely want to stitch them because I think having the whole series will be kind of fun.
Now, will you cut him out and make him an ornament?
I'm not really sure how I'm going to finish him since he's in a series of things. I'll probably cut him out, but I don't know if maybe I'll frame them or do some sort of display with them. So I'm not really sure.
He's awfully cute.
Thanks. I like him a lot. This dog begging for the turkey cracks me up. And then of course this cat is just like walking in between his legs because cats are always in the way. So are dogs, though, to be fair. And then the other thing I finished, so this is a Christmas pin pillow by Kathy Barrick. And this was the third of 3 patterns that we got in the nice list box. And we got the whole kit for it. So I did have it folded nicely. This is on a piece of 36 count linen. And here it is.
And I would help you out with the color, but I'm so bad at telling you what it is.
I have it down here. Hold on just a second. I just didn't.
I love how small it came out.
I know, it's so cute. It's Weeks Dye Work beige linen.
Okay. I should know that.
So
because I think that's what my Hawk Run Hollow is on.
Yeah. So it's just like a nice neutral. The pattern said to use 2 strands of floss, but I only used 1. And I think it's pretty good coverage. That's what I'd usually use on 36. But anyway, this was finished number 25, and I finished it a little bit after 11 on New Year's Eve. So
yay!
Just got it in 2021. We went to visit my in-laws, and I told my mother-in-law, I was like, I have to finish this. So every little bit, I'd be like, are you done with it? Like, no, I'm still going. My mother-in-law is a stitcher, so
she gets that.
She gets it.
I just realized I stacked my stuff out of order, so that's okay. I can carefully pull this out of here. I also had a couple of last minute finishes. Yeah, I said I could pull this out. We'll get there.
We just operate in stacks.
We do. And I have everything like stacked on a TV tray next to me here. Okay, here we go. So my number 37 for the year was Noel by Modern Folk Embroidery.
Oh, wow, that's so pretty.
Thank you. This is just a piece of scrap linen from my stash, and the floss, oh my gosh, I can't remember what I was using. I think it's hollyberry, but I love that. And
yes, it
was pretty easy. I already had this outer checkerboard border, and I had the circle, just the circle itself done, and just a couple little pieces. So I really did a lot. I pretty much did all of the fill-in to finish that.
Oh, wow.
But yes, I was really happy with that. And I just think Jacob does such pretty projects. I love them. Then the other one I finished, and you guys, I don't iron before I do this. I'm sure my framer hates me. My framer, who is also the designer of this. Oh, this is Count Your Friends by Rosie and Me. I'll pull it up. Okay, do I have it full frame now?
You can go a little, there you go.
Okay, so this is it, and it's just a sweet prayer from 1941. And it's stitched on 37 count cloudburst linen, from, I believe, from Fiber on a Whim.
Mm.
And the floss I know is Argyle Socks by Classic Colorworks. It's a purple and blue mix, and I just love that.
Right, perfect for you.
And that was number 38. My goal had been to have 30 finishes, and then Katie and I did all of the little sweaters for our friends, and I think I showed you all of those. They were adorable. And so that bumped me up, and then I pulled out Noelle because I hadn't been able to find it, and I whipped that out, and I thought, oh, okay, so what else can I finish? You look around madly because it's the end of the year. I think we probably all get that urge that we just want to see what we can finish up.
Right. Well, because I think my original plan, I was like, if I hit 20, that will be something impressive.
Yes.
And then, well, I think it was all of the fun every days, counting those as individual ones. But I've been pretty dedicated to working on those.
And again, those are almost 3,000 stitches each.
Right. So yeah, but it was one of those, like, since I became so focused and dedicated on working on those, I think that really upped my count. And so I can't remember if it was October or November. I was like, I could maybe make it to 25. And it was at the last minute, but I made it to 25.
So the good thing is Keisha and I are both planners, and we absolutely push each other, and not in a bad way, but we push each other and support. And we started planning early for the end of the year and the beginning of next year and what we wanted things to look like. And we just started talking about it, I feel like.
Yeah. So, we push each other in you can totally do that. You can totally do that. That's the way we push each other.
I know Keisha already tracks how many finishes she has, and I do too, but I also write it in our filming book. And so then every week we're like, oh my gosh, look at this. We finished this.
Yeah. So. Well, and it's always exciting when it's like, well, I have a finish to show. Me too.
We're so excited. And the weeks where we're like, I finished like 3 things this week. Well, I guess it's 2 weeks because of our filming schedule. I feel like doing that has just given us so much freedom to like actually make really good progress on things.
I think so. And having that extra week where we have just like some dedicated time to work on something together and just like kind of chat has been nice, especially since we missed a lot of that whenever things were more shut down and we couldn't go to Panera every week.
Right. So. Okay, Katie Landis, because I can tell you need a drink.
Yeah, I have a cough that's just like kind of sticking around. Excuse me. Especially whenever I talk a whole lot or if any cold air hits my throat. So it's fine. I feel great. Other than that, it's just like it's hanging around.
Okay, we had all these finishes this year, and instead of we were going to do a finish parade, and then we talked about that maybe it would just be more fun to show you a couple of our favorites. Do you want me to talk for a minute?
Yeah, you go.
Okay. I thought maybe you would, since you're a little froggy. Okay, so one of my very favorites this year was Dance of the Tulips by Glendon Place.
Yes.
Glendon Place is so eclectic. They have so many different styles of things. I think a lot of you will think of them for all of the fun Halloween pieces that Gary does, but they have a whole series of beautiful flowers. And what are the other ones called, like pies or something? And they're just beautiful color pieces.
Right.
So this was called for on a pale green linen, and I found this piece of pink. I don't know how well things are showing up today. I probably should have opened the front door, but this is mine on this pink fabric.
So beautiful.
Thank you. I think it may have to go to one of the framing sales this year and get framed. Sure. I just need to save some money.
And that's the one that you beaded left-handed, right?
Yes. Oh, yes. I finished it up during the retreats over the summer because I had messed my wrist up and couldn't use my right hand.
Right.
So I taught myself to stitch left-handed. I have stitched every day for 4 years, starting from like December 26th. So I was not about to, excuse me, to break my streak.
Right.
I won't let a little thing like that get me down.
No, just teach yourself how to bead with your left hand. That's fine. Why would you do something easy?
And Katie bought me a lap stand, and so I was able to use it.
Right.
So that helped a lot. So the other one I'm going to show you is something really silly. Frank Bialek of Mosey and Me died within the last couple of years, and I really wanted to pull this out and get done. So there is Pumpkin Joe and his great big pants.
The forever pants.
Yes. You guys, there are over 1,000 stitches in those pants, and you can see there are also some Smyrnas in there. So it was crazy, but he is so fun. I don't know if you can find him anymore or not, but he is just hysterical.
Okay, well, I pulled more than 2, but one of them can work for both of us. So the first thing I'm going to show you, this is Cozy Feet from Mill
That's one of my favorites.
Yes, I love this one. I think it's so fun. And this was the first 25/7 that I did in 2021. When I started on it, I had like this middle part and a little bit of the socks, but not much. So I really did the bulk of this in 2021. And I just love this one. I need to buy one of the Mill Hill frames and put it in and put it up during the winter season. So
like now.
Yes, like right now. But I love this one. Whenever I saw this pattern for the first time, I was like, I need that because it's cute. So I tell myself that I'm the green socks and that Timothy's the white and blue socks.
I believe that.
Mm-hmm. So
except the white socks need to be significantly bigger, right?
Well, he's slouched down and I'm sitting straight up, so you know. So I love that one. And then legitimately one of my favorite things that I finished this year, and I'm not just saying this so that Katie Landis will let me do more model stitching, but it was Savor Life from the Black Needle Society, and this was in the Black Needle Society retreat. It was the pattern for that. I got this kit initially, like James was maybe a month old at the time. I finished this in March. And
no, she didn't get that kit, you guys. She demanded.
I demanded it. Well, because I don't know. It was before James was born. Katie had shown me the artwork for this. And I was like, that is beautiful. I would like to stitch it. And it took her a while to get it charted and to get everything picked out. And I was like, I would like to stitch that. And then James was born and she said, are you sure? Do you have time to stitch that? And I said, I want to stitch that. So she let me stitch it and I got it done in time by the deadline for her. But it's legitimately one of my favorite things. I have the kit because the kit came with the retreat in a box. Mm-hmm. And
plus the full finishing kit from Lois.
From Lady Dot,
yeah.
Beautiful bag. I don't stitch a whole lot of the models that I stitch for myself, but I do really, really want to stitch that. And since I showed that one, this was the companion piece, the Moonrise Snail, which I also stitched, and he's really cute and I love him a lot.
I think that I think they're both still available in the vault, but I know Katie had to order more of the Moonrise Snail in, so if that's one that you're interested in, you'll have to just go find it on the Black Needle Society.
And same flosses for this one as Savor Life, so you'll have enough. Anyway, So
it was an 1/8 yard of fabric, right? And it was big
Mhm.
enough to do now,
to do
was
both.
it 32 or 36?
It was 36, and it
So
was big enough to do both.
yeah, so if you do something other than 36, you probably would have to get another piece.
Right. But the snail is pretty tiny. Okay, and then this one is just going to count as both mine and Laura's. So I don't know that you pulled out yours because you didn't show it off, but a big part of our year is model stitching for the Frogwarts retreat. So another one of my favorites is Frogwarts Year 2. So there's that. And here's the whole thing. So I'm stitching it as one big piece. And Laura's doing them individually.
And
But
Keisha's is with DMC
yes,
on 36 count.
count.
And I stitch on whatever the fabric of the year is. Which let me see if I can find that real quick.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I may sneak peek here. I mean, she already did to our group, so
Right.
You
she
know,
sent it to us in a text message
with the floss toss.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, yeah, there it is right there. So Katie has found this fabric. I believe it's called Beetroot by Fox and Rabbit. That is what she is thinking for this year's.
So gorgeous. Ours are going to look completely different.
Yeah. So Keisha's will still be on the neutral,
Mm-hmm.
and this is what mine will be on. I get to stitch on the whatever fabric she comes up with for the year, plus mine is 32 count. So the first one,
and
we
you use overdyed.
Yes, I use the overdyed floss.
Mm-hmm. So, but anyway, that was a really big piece and is a significant number of my stitches on finished things this year. So Frogwarts is always a big part of the stitching year for me.
You have been the model stitcher extraordinaire in 2021 for sure.
Yeah, so I finished 5 models this year. It was 25% of my total stitch count for the year was on models. Most
huge.
Of those on Frogwarts.
It is almost 12,000 stitches, right?
Yeah, I had down 11,875.
Yeah, I knew it was close.
Yeah.
So, and yes, Katie is working on the next one. She's been reading, she's been watching, she's been making notes furiously. And so, and I get to see the fun things where she just roughly sketches in what she thinks she might use. And she does it on her iPad, and then she'll play with it. We were on a chat the other night, and I said, you guys, you want me to just tell you what I see? And I said, I see a big nose. The way she had drawn this thing, it absolutely looked like she just had a big nose right on the pattern. So yeah.
I'll tell you, the bringing up like seeing an artist like draw things out. Aaron has put a couple of like videos on the Autumn Lane Stitchery Facebook group that shows his sketch to the actual finished pattern, and I think that's really cool. I love seeing things like that. So
he sent us like his initial concept for the project bag that we did for the September box. And so we got to see some different stages of that, and it was really cool because we saw the black and white, and then we got to see when he started adding a little bit of color, and it's just fascinating. Right.
As a person who isn't like an artist like that, it's just so cool to see the process that people go through to do that. So
yes. Okay, do you want to talk stash?
Yeah, let's talk about some stash. So some of the stash that I got, I'll show in whips because I bought some things and then I couldn't resist starting it immediately as soon as I got home from the cross stitch store. But I'll show you the other thing. Which
is not a thing you normally do.
I know, I always wait. I'm very measured about like when I start things. I was too excited, guys. I'll show it to you whenever we get to whips. But one thing I did buy, and I've now lost the packaging it came in. Okay, sorry. So this is Silver Fox from Fiber on a Whim, and it's 36 count. And it's just like a really pretty pale silvery blue green sort of color. And then I bought, sorry, these are already in bags. I bought all of this really colorful floss. That's going to go on here. I purchased the ABC Dinosaur Salve from Clouds Factory. The first part of that comes out on the 10th. So I guess that's tomorrow. Oh my goodness, that's exciting. So I was looking at the different salves that people were coming out with this year. And that's going to be like a dinosaur for every letter of the alphabet during the year. And I'm just really hoping that James decides that he's into dinosaurs, or else I'm going to have to frame it and hang it in my bedroom instead of his. So
there you go.
But anyway, that was the stash that I bought yesterday, plus another thing. But I am going to show you a couple of other things that I've gotten, except for, well, I'll show you one thing. I'm going to show you the big gift that we got on day 25 in the Black Needle Society Advent box. It's not my favorite present of the box, but it's up there. So it came in this really shiny package, which tempted me all month. And it was definitely worth the temptation, because look at these. Look at these beautiful hanks of silk from Silks for You. They're just, it's amazing. And I have no idea what I'm going to use these for, but I'm so excited because I've never had like a hank of silk before. I've just bought like small things of silk for particular patterns. And I always see these things and I'm like, oh, so pretty, but what would I do? And now I have some.
I think Athena was calculating and saying she could finish like this many long dogs, and like she could finish, I think it was something like 2 or 3 long dogs.
Yeah, well, and that was one of my thoughts, was to do something, and then I was like, oh man, I already started Death by Cross Stitch. So
the colorway with that, so Katie just told her Aurora Borealis, and that's what, and she told her she wanted 1 solid and 1 patterned, and that's what she came up with.
Right. Oh,
fabulous.
Amazing. So I had my favorite, oh, there it is. So I knew I brought it in here with me. My favorite thing out of the box, and I think it was a lot of other people's favorite too, was A Christmas Carol. And there are 5 cross stitch patterns in here from Erica Michaels, Heartstring Samplery, Hello from Liz Matthews, Lottie Da, and Summer House Stitchworks. And you can go on the 24th, whenever I opened this, I showed all of the patterns. But I mean, this is something really special, and I was so excited to get it. And I know that you and Katie had both told me, like, that's like the really good one. And it is the really good one.
I know a lot of people opened it and they're like, how are they going to top this? We still have day 25.
Right.
But I think those silks.
Oh, for sure.
Right up there.
Yeah, no, it was definitely like, you opened this and you were like, whoa, this is one of the most thoughtful things I've ever received as a cross stitch gift. And then you opened that treasure chest of silks and you're like, whoa.
And we really enjoy the people who open the book and they're like, oh, they gave us a book, they gave us the Christmas Carol. And Katie and I sitting here at home watching videos, we're like, read the cover.
Right.
Open the book.
And see, I did the opposite. I was like, oh, cross stitch patterns. And then I was looking in here and I saw the cross stitch patterns and everything. And then I started reading and I was like, it's the actual book. Like, this is A Christmas Carol with cross stitch patterns in it. So, but anyway, I really, really, really liked this one. So
glad.
That's the stash that I have to show. Like I said, I'll show you some more later on in WIPs. So.
I kind of messed up my pile here when I rearranged a little. We got a little bit of Stitchy Kindness from our friend Chloe. Katie and I did, and you guys, look at the cute little wombat.
Oh,
stamp.
cute!
Isn't that fun? So of course, they're in Australia. Chloe's in Australia. I always say they because Chloe and Felicity, they go hand in hand. But Chloe sent Katie and I some little bookmarks.
Oh, cute.
Aren't they fun?
They're so fun.
And they're just beautiful. So it's so fun to be thought of. And she included a really sweet little note. Now, Katie has her own set and hers are slightly different. Her green one has ornaments on it. I think her orange one may match mine, but they're very sweet. And we got a lovely little note from Chloe. And it's so nice to just be thought of and get something sweet like that. Then Christmas from my family. I got a Kindle Fire. That's and Katie, and it's purple. Can you see? Katie already pulled it out and did the jailbreak on it. So I just need to get patterns on. I need to get my Life After Death by Long Dog on here so that I can then mark it up, which was the big driving force behind me wanting Pattern Keeper. I'm sorry, I'm dropping things, but it just will be so much easier to keep track and figure out what's going on. I already made one little boo-boo and it's not going to matter because it's contained within a little section and it's fine. I've already looked at it. Then last summer, before Barb of Blackbird Designs, Barb Adams died, Katie found this chart, which she stitched a long time ago. I actually own this chart, but it has been loaned out and I have been afraid that it's not going to come home. So she went ahead and found Moon Garden for me.
Wow.
And I've got it still in the sleeve because I'm just keeping it safe.
Right.
And it was number 8. It was Loose Feathers number 8. So it was an early one. And Katie did hers beautifully using some silks from my stash. So it was kind of fun. And the other thing I got for Christmas was a gift certificate to do framing at our LNS. And she actually had a sale to start off the new year. So I already have 2 of my finishes, which happen to be 2 from last year. And they're in there and I'll show you when they come back because I'm really excited about them.
So
Then I also got, Katie asked me yesterday, wait a minute, what did Santa do with our fabric? Well, Santa forgot to put our fabric out. We are going to split a couple pieces of Mystic fabrics. So the first one that we have is Sugar Plum. Look at that color.
Ooh.
Yeah, and now that I open the front door, you guys are really getting to see some colors. So you'll notice that lighting has changed, hopefully. So I have that one. And I just want to shove that quickly, at least in the general vicinity of the bag. The other one that we got to split is also from Mystic Fabrics. It's called Sea Glass. This Keisha, it's a good thing you weren't with me because you might have tried to steal this.
That's true. That does look like one I would swipe.
I love it. It's just so pretty. And she always does beautiful, beautiful fabrics. It was fun to just, our LNS had them up. And when we took them up to the counter, she said, okay, do you have projects for these or are you just buying them because of the color? And she was really excited. And we said, the color got us. We'll find something.
The project will come.
Yes. Then I also bought my own copy of Indigo Lane because I've been waiting for Katie to start hers. I love this thing. And I finally decided, nope, I just have to have it. Okay, come on. Yeah, there we go. I also got from Fiber on a Whim. I love Fiber on a Whim fabrics. This one is called Butter. Can you tell that's yellow?
Kind of, whenever you hold it in front of your shirt.
Does it help with the white too?
A little bit.
It's a
It's
fairly,
yeah. Oh, I was gonna say it's definitely more yellow than what it's showing up.
yes. And it's just it's a fairly solid piece. But I got it because I think it'll be a great neutral for me to pull out and still have a little bit of color. I was thinking maybe my Emma Congdon book.
Ooh, yeah, with all of her bright colors, that would be really good on that.
Yeah. And then another one from Fiber on a Whim is 36 count wheat. And I love just this one is the more subtle of the two they had there. But you can see there's some green up here. The other one was called Oatmeal, and it had really, really aggressive greenish spots, like pistachios.
Gotcha.
Green. So that's kind of what it made me think of. And I think that's it for my stash, because I will show you this other thing during plans.
All right.
So next up would be whips.
Whips. Okay, I'm just gonna leave this in the. All right. So I'll show you some of like well, I don't really have a whole lot of holdover winter things because I finished a lot of that, but I worked on Winter Welcome from Parkhopper Bart. And this one is so much fun. I'm working on the little frame around, and this is on 32 count Winterberry from Fortnight Fabrics.
I love that. A thing to note about this one is that if you did get the box and you're trying to figure out what to put on that 14 count Aida bag, this will fit.
Ooh, that's a good tip.
And also that bag, you should go see Lynn Acctgforstitches. Go see what she's doing. Really cool.
So here's what I've got done so far. So I've almost made it all the way around. Not quite.
It's so pretty on there.
I really like this a lot. And you can't really tell, but this is a toile. So it's very, very sparkly. I don't think you're catching any of it, but
toile is hard.
Yeah. But it's been a lot of fun. Definitely something I want to keep working on and have ready for next winter. And then I have been working on, oh man, I'm a mess today, guys. I'm just a mess. I thought I know that I've taken everything out, but well, anyway, we'll plow through my pile and see what we can find, I think is what we're gonna have to do. Sorry I'm such a mess.
You want me to show one while you're looking?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. My 25/7 is Christmas Garden by Blackbird Designs. And I have to show you guys, it took me this long to figure out that the full sampler is right inside the cover. Oh, and nice. I'm not going to pull mine off of the hoop because it's all set up, but I think I can pretty well show you. That is where I am.
Oh, wow.
I have this top little bit to go across and it will be done. So did that help?
Well, I'm not able to put my hands on one of my whips. Oh, there it is.
I love that.
Okay. So my problem, and I couldn't find the cover picture for this today, so I apologize. I'm not sure where it's gone. I have a toddler who likes to take my things. But anyway, this is the December panel of Fun Everyday December. And so
so awesome.
Thanks. A lot of this I've gotten done since we did our last video. So basically it's this color stripes across, and then there's green stripes, just to kind of tell you what it looks like. But I'm making progress on it. I haven't been working on it as diligently as I usually do, but that's okay.
But that's because you finished your goal for December, and so you could take a break and do other things.
Yeah. So anyway, so there's that one. And then I couldn't find my cover page for this one. So I'm a mess today, guys. I'm a mess. One of my big goals for this year is to finish this monster project, which is Mario 3 World 1. I got the pattern off of Sprite Stitch. So I had like all of this done. I'm almost all the way to the edge. There's a black border that goes around, but this is almost the edge of it. So that's about as wide as it's going to be.
Did you get it down to 22,000 stitches?
No, well, now I'm down to 22,000 stitches, but I didn't work on it as much in December as I wanted to. But this week, I did a few of these hills and then started filling in the green there. Because there's just a lot of 310 to this thing, and if I only work in 310, I probably would put it right there. But anyway, that's my progress. I'm trying for about 250 stitches a week. I didn't quite make it there this past week, but it's okay. It's fine. I got
really more like guidelines,
Right. And then, you pick up one thing and then you put something down and then you can't find it again. Another thing I've been working on, and I was unsuccessful in my goals. Oh, that was on 18 count Aida, by the way, just an 18 count piece of white Aida. I didn't get the current part of Maple Lane Club done before the next part came out. So here's what it looks like now. There was a part that just came out on Friday, this flower cart part. I'm still working on the trolley, and then next month we get the bottom. That's blocked out there.
You're that close to having the whole thing.
Yes.
Wow.
Next month we get the bottom, and then the next month is a finishing tutorial. So this is on a piece of 14 count Aida in the color Vellum from Picture This Plus. And here's where I am.
Oh, look at it.
Working on that little trolley. Hope to be caught up before the next part comes out. We'll see how it goes. I was keeping up really well with it, but not stitching. There were a couple of days when I was sick when I didn't stitch at all. So, and then during the holidays, I didn't really stitch very much. So,
and all the shiny new things for 2022, right?
Oh, for sure. And then I'll show you this, and then I'll show you what I bought the stash for. So I started Half the Fun from Ink Circles. We got this in a black needle box early last year. And I have been waiting for the perfect thing to stitch this with, because the floss that came in the box was beautiful, but there wasn't enough to do this pattern.
Not quite.
So that made me very sad. And so I've been looking for the perfect thing. Well, we went to the cross stitch store and we found this really pretty piece of Carnival, 36 count linen from Picture This Plus. Just really pretty. And I told Katie that I wanted to pick that for it. And then we went through and we looked at some floss and we picked out this from Sulky. It says it's 712-1112, but it said royal purple.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what I've got done so far.
Ugh.
Got a plane and a car.
And there are some little purple spots on this fabric, hit and miss.
Yeah, you can, well, I mean, you could definitely see the big splotch in the middle, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So it picks up the purples throughout. And it's so happy and fun and nice, and I like it a lot.
Awesome. I started that also.
Oh, you did?
As one of my 22 for 22.
Oh, cool. But yeah, I got the things and I said in the car, I was like, I had a plan for today, but I really want to start that. And I got home and James had laid down for a late nap. And so I put this right in a hoop and went right for it. So, and then the last thing that I worked on, pull the picture up real quick. Not that the picture really matters a whole lot on this one, but I worked on Death by Cross Stitch from Long Dog. And I got to something that wasn't just a straight line.
So awesome.
Thanks. So basically I did this line going down, this line going across with some little markers there, and then I started working on this. And I need to pick like a secondary color, a secondary accent color, because there's another line that goes up here. There are some dots in this little flowery border that I wanted to put in a different color. So I've just got to choose that.
Uh-huh. And but you got over 500 stitches, right?
No, I got
or right
267, under. I think. But my goal was to do 250 last night. So I had to put down half the fun and work on this. So but that's what I got done. And it's been really fun to work on. I hadn't worked on it for a little bit. And this is a 36 count agave linen.
I loved that color.
From Weeks, I believe. Oh, no.
I had to go look at all the greens for Keisha because I was at a shop when she was ready to choose fabric. And I found that one and I'm like, okay, here are all of the greens.
And it's perfect because I didn't really want anything that was like too mottled or anything. And this one's it's a pretty consistent piece. So I'm really excited about it. And I'm looking forward to working on it some more now that I've got it pulled back out. So
good.
All right. Well, I think that's it for me.
Okay, so if you haven't been here before, I'm going to quickly explain. So I have a lot of whips. In fact, I'll ask you, and you can put it down here and then we'll talk about it another time. I had right around 150 whips and it was under that a little bit. And then we did the 13 stitches of Halloween. And mine were not all brand new, but I did start some. Then we did the 12 days of stitching for winter and Christmas. Mine were not all new, but I did start some. And then we did 22 new starts for 2022. How many whips do you think I have? You can comment. I've given you a little guideline. And I'll tell you all about it. But so I took the whips that were existing before the 22 and I split them up into every month. And I did have a few more whips than I thought I did because I had started some things that hadn't made their way onto my spreadsheet. So every month I'm choosing just a group of projects and I am working on them one day each to try and see, kind of evaluate where things are. And on the first day, I let my husband reach into the bag and just pull one. So he pulled Coffeequaker by Heartstring Samplery. And mine is stitched on 28 count vintage linen is all that it said. And this is where it was. And this is where it is now.
Wow.
So I feel like I got a lot done.
Yeah, definitely.
So this one was the halfway point and I made it all the way to the edge.
Nice.
So if I don't know if I'll go the other way or what, but I'm right by the words too. And I kind of like to get the words in. And this is why he picked this project because it was in this bag with that inside. So this is from our friend Judy, who has a Facebook group called Judy's Project Bags and More. And she keeps putting new fabric up in there. And yeah, it's really pushing me.
Right.
So then the next day, I let Katie pull, and she pulled this bag, another Judy bag. And it had Blackbird's winter delivery.
Nice.
Which is also in our Whatcha Stitching group, I pulled the card that said a piece with beads, and somebody said, Blackbird has beads. Can you see the beads on there now?
Yeah.
So there aren't very many, but there are a few. And yeah, Blackbird doesn't do a lot of beads on their projects, but this one did have it. And I thought, oh, awesome. And I am stitching on a 28 count Cashel solo from Silkweaver.
Ooh.
And that's how far I got. Now I had to frog some because I don't know, there was something funky about, I mean, I chose this area because it has this yellow, this gold in it too, but it was throwing me off. Oh, I didn't show you. That's where I was when I started.
Oh, okay.
So
Wow.
I did okay with it. And then the next day, Bree got to choose. They're so funny because it's like absolutely the what they were stored in really fit the person who picked it. I'm gonna throw that one over because it needs some floss added. This is what Bree picked.
Oh.
Don't you think that looks like? Yeah.
Well, yeah, as much as she loves her cats, critters.
So it's this one, which is actually called Midnight Dreamer, and it's by the Woolly U. There is no name on this chart. I don't know if in subsequent printings if they did it, but like even inside, there's no name.
Oh gosh.
So we did look it up and find that. And I just had part of the border started. I am stitching this on 40 count shrinking violet. And it's a really pretty purple fabric. It definitely takes me a little bit longer, and it goes this way. So I've gotten almost all the way around the border. I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
I don't typically get to stitch until late at night. So stitching late at night on 40 count was not kind on my eyes.
After you've used your eyes all day.
Yeah. Then my next one is Funky Bird by Barbara Anna. This was Funky Bird. And I knew what they all were. So I had the alphabet done, and part of the bird's head, I didn't have a before picture, but I started filling in the bird's wing.
Oh, wow.
And did all of the other color there. So I really like this one a lot. It's in a Galleria bag from a couple years ago. You have to do that one year with this. That was so fun.
I really should.
Okay. Then the next day, and I did not start on the first. I started on the second because we were still finishing up our starts.
Right.
Just picked this.
Ooh.
Which housed Quilting Bee.
Oh, yes.
Flower. And I will, which is, it looks like this. I just showed you that. This is what it looks like now. He's just leaning in. There is nothing there.
Oh.
I found out that when I had originally started this on about stitch number 26 of 133, I had gone over an extra thread.
Oh no.
40 count fabric. And so I pulled it all out. So because I just couldn't see fighting, you know, I showed you this is where I was. If you don't get linen on the right thread, it's a real struggle. And that's a lot that I would have had to stitch on the wrong thread. And I would have had to figure out where I could pull it out to fix the beginning too. And then I'd have been off the whole way.
Right. So, if that's that close to the beginning of a project, might as well just do a restart.
Yes. So this one is going away for a while. I gotta lean because I just threw my phone on the floor. Excuse me, sorry. But it was, I mean, I was okay pulling it out. Once I made the decision to pull it out, I just was really relieved because I just didn't want to hate that the whole way through. And I
Right.
would have. So Katie got to pick next. She chose this. Fun, right?
Yes.
And it houses this.
Oh, well, that makes sense for Katie too.
This is Winter Chalkboard from the it was from a magazine originally, and now you can buy it from Hirschner's. So I have a PDF download of it. And this is where it was. I'm stitching on 32 count Fossil by Fox and Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
And I got all that.
Wow.
I did make one change. This was a serif font, and the T's also had 2 more stitches, one on either side. I thought it made it look too much like an I, so on both T's, I left it off.
Nice.
But I'm really happy with that. I have a huge chunk of fabric. I have like a half yard because I would like to do them all on the same thing if I can.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a fun one. And then yesterday, I picked, no, Bree picked, I encouraged her to pick this bag. And she's like, okay. And I said, well, there's a reason you want this. Oh, I didn't look up the cover photo. I don't know that there was one.
Yeah.
So from the Nerdy Needle Company, it's Floral Darth Vader, and that's where I was.
Love it.
And it's horribly wrinkly. And I think if I hold it on this, I'll be able to do it a little better.
Oh, wow.
I got.
You got a ton done.
I put just over 900 stitches in it last night.
Wow.
And you guys, it's okay. So this is really funny because I just finished watching a show, and this little corner down here, the dark blue, is 102 stitches. Does that look like 100 stitches? I don't think so. But that's how that goes.
Yeah.
And I'm stitching on 28 count precious metals from Silkweaver. Nice. So those were my whips for this week. And I am loving this, obviously.
Yeah, right. It's really cool to revisit all of your things.
Yeah. And you know, things that I haven't touched in so long, it's just been exciting to pull them back out and work on them. And my family has been very cooperative with me saying, here, pick something. Because, you know, I don't know what's going to go on. So,
right.
Okay. So that brings me to, how about plans?
Ooh, plans. Oh, man. So, I am going to, all right. So I have this whole, this whole thing, and I don't know that it's really going to work out, but we're going to try our best. So I'm going to work more on Mario 3 World 1. Like I said, I want to do 250 stitches a week on it, if possible. A little bit more if I can, because I'd like to get it done this year. 250 is manageable, but I should probably push a little bit harder so that I actually do finish it this year. I'll work on Death by Cross Stitch some more because we're both trying to do 1,000 stitches a month on our long dogs. And then
that's why you had hit to a little over 250. So I was trying to think how you were working that out.
Yeah, well, because I figured, you know, I probably am going to work on it. I don't know. I have this whole scheme for like days that I'm going to work on things. But then I remembered that by making myself work on things on specific days, I don't want to do it.
I think that's why I like them pulling stuff out of the bag, because I don't know what I'm going to work on.
Right. So really, I just need to set a weekly goal. And then I'm going to try to work on Maple Lane some more. For whatever reason, I'm not loving working on that. So maybe I just need to like give it a break this week. And then I definitely want to work on Half the Fun some more. I had to stop myself from working on that more yesterday. So
you're having all the fun.
yes. So so definitely a hodgepodge of things. And then ABC Dinosaur comes out on the 10th, so tomorrow. So I'm excited to start that too.
Fun.
All the starts, all the working on things. I told Laura most of my stuff is on 36 count with one strand right now, so that's my count of the moment.
That's like your sweet spot, right?
Yes.
Okay. I already pulled a project for today, so I'll show you what I'm going to do. I pulled this sleeve. I love this vintagey sleeve, and in it I actually have two pieces, but okay, I opened to this one, so I'll do it. It's this ornament that says joy. And I have teased my friend Deanna forever that she needed to stitch it again for me because it had all the purple. I have the row of soldiers done.
Oh, cute.
Did everybody get? Oh, I do still need to finish up some. It looks like the top stitching on it. But I will work on that today. That will be fun. And that I think is just a 28 count white linen. I have to see what all is down in here. Oh, my list for what I liked in the book. So that's today. It can go in here. And then Whip Go. You didn't do Whip Go for this year, right?
No, just we were going to do 2 squares or do a board full of our long dogs.
We need to make boards and just have stickers to put on.
Yeah, pretty much.
I am doing, I can never remember whether this is Halloween Fairy or Trick or Treat. It's Halloween Fairy by Nora Corbett. It was from the magazine. I made copies to pull out so that I didn't have to work from the magazine on it because I knew it would be a long-term project.
Yeah.
But you guys, so I need to get 500 stitches in on this. And this then will also qualify for the monthly Focus on a Designer that Garon Stitching, the 614 Stitcher Candy, and Czuk Stitch Carolyn are doing. Every month they're choosing a designer, and this month's is Nora Corbett Mirabilia. Nice. And you can do an alternate if you don't have one. Look at my fabric. Is that like glorious for this thing? And there she is.
So good.
And I was thinking I was turning my pumpkin white, but somebody said something about teal pumpkins. What about a teal pumpkin?
That could be a pretty cool splash of color in there.
I may just have to play and see what will work. But 500 stitches in her should really help.
Yeah, for sure.
She has a ton of beads. But I still have like the bottom of her skirt and her legs to go and the pumpkins. Then there'll be a lot of curly Q, fancy finishing up stuff. So that's one of my whip goes. And then the other one that got drawn for this month was Keisha's Choice.
And it wasn't a hard one for me to pick out.
Keisha's favorite bag.
Yes. I knew what project this bag was in down to the button. So
And what did you say? You think it looks like a smashed blackberry, right?
Yeah, I think the button looks like a blackberry. I think your fabric looks like someone smashed blackberries all over it. I just love it. I love it so much.
Me too. It's she said, do I have to pick from this month or can it be anything? And I said, you can pick what you want, because I knew what she wanted, and it is Blackberry House by Plum Street Samplers. I love this piece, and I really did. It was on my Whip Go board last year, and so I put a good chunk in it. I did not set myself up well last year, so I wasn't as successful as I could have been, I'm okay with that. It was a learning experience.
For sure.
This is the fabric she's talking about, and it just gets better and better. And
Yeah.
here's where I am.
I just love this.
So I put that house in last year, and I think I did some of that white stuff in the middle.
Yeah.
But I love this.
Definitely.
And I did, I always do this, and I'll just tell you guys again. So when I have an alphabet, I change the letters for each of my family members' initials. So J, K, L, and B are all a different color. And I just picked a color that was already in the project, and that was it. So I will put 500 stitches in on this at least. Yes. It probably, you know, these are my January plans. So I probably won't get to these until after I finish. I think I have 5 more or 6 more, maybe 6 more projects that were pulled. And then my long dog is in this beautiful bag from the 805 Stitcher. And I don't need to pull that out. I'll just turn it around and show you. Mine is Life After Death. And I am using 40 count antique hydrangea linen from R&R, and I am using a Silks for You. I was trying to decide if I had the little card that showed. This is like one cut of my floss, so it's the one I'm currently working with. And so I have had hanks of silk because yeah, I've played with different things. I don't see that she has a number on them. Sorry. I could figure it out if I went back. So antique hydrangea is just this really pretty soft purpley fabric. And I am this far.
Wow.
So I need to get it in Pattern Keeper so that I can mark all this off. I love my funky little people.
Yes, they're so fun.
And the one is fishing. The one right here is fishing. Just cracks me up.
Yes.
So I'll get that in Pattern Keeper, and then I will be ready to go on that because I really want to be able to track and just enjoy what I'm stitching.
Oh, definitely. It's really helped, especially like on my long lines of things. I feel like it's really helped to be able to mark things off and see that clearly. So.
And then you're like, oh, that's how many stitches I did.
Yeah, right. You don't have to count the big long lines that you stitched.
A project that I missed being able to start in my 22 for 22 was this one, United We Stand by Teresa Kogut. And I bought it. She released this during the Be Well and Stitch time when she was just donating. They were all charity charts that she was doing. So now I just moved it again. There we go. So look at that. And I ordered 2 pieces of fabric from Fabric Flare. And I think I know which one I want to use, but I'm going to show you what I have. So I have this piece of barnwood.
Ooh.
That I thought they would be cool on. But then I also saw, and you know how these things happen, this.
Ooh. That's cool.
So you guys can tell me what your pick is down in the comments. Keisha, what would your pick be?
Well, the stars. That's super cool.
It's so funny because I mean, I went in and I was looking at all of the wood and stuff. And this one popped up like on the bottom of this page, like,
Oh,
you might
really?
also like, and I saw this and I thought, well, yes, I do.
Yeah, I do also like.
And it's the one that, if I'm really honest, that's what I'm leaning toward. So my plan is that I am starting this next Saturday on the 15th, which was Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. And it will be a long weekend for me. I'll be off on Monday. So I plan to get a good start on that. And I have bought myself a couple of sulkies to use for their dresses.
Oh, nice.
And then I ordered the silks from Almond M&Ms that are the skin colors, the skin tones.
Oh, fun.
So I will use those to do the skin on the girls. I have bought all of the DMC also. I may have to go back and do some investigating. I think that I have heard someone say that for this lady, they have used wool floss for her hair, which I just think would be fun.
Yeah, I've never stitched with wool floss before. That could be cool.
I don't think I have either. So yeah, it would be something new, something different. So those are all my January plans. That was a lot, right?
Yeah, well, that's okay. It's a packed month.
I have been motivated. And I'm excited. I've already previewed like what my February projects are. I'm excited to pull those out. Last weekend, Katie and I were in here for the end of my time off from work. And I went through all of my whips and I just threw them in piles on the floor here in the living room because I sorted them into the months where I had put them, and I updated my spreadsheet, and I got them all in and organized. And so my shelves look so pretty. Nice. I'm excited to go get them.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, that I'm so excited for you that you're doing this huge project this year, because I think it'll just reignite a lot of your love for older projects that you haven't touched for a while.
Yes. And I think that's why I was okay letting Quilting Bee go. I knew I had been fighting with it. And when I found that I had made that error, it was kind of like a relief, because I thought, okay, I'm really not fighting with it for just a silly reason. It's because I am off and it needs to come out. And I really am going to have to think about, I love the fabric that I chose, but I may choose something else to put it on.
Yeah.
And you may get little cut up pieces of 40 count linen that I think is glorious. That would break your heart, I'm sure.
Man, just don't send any new stash this way.
Well, and it's like, okay, so I have this little piece. I have this one, and none of these pieces were big enough to do it. I have this piece, because I did cut it all apart, and this piece, which is what it was on. And obviously they've all been shoved in here and left wrinkly. So, but that was it.
Nice. I'm excited to see all the progress you make on your next ones.
I don't know what else I was going to say to you just there.
Well,
I'm distracted by the pretty linen. And it's green.
Well, I love green, as you know. Well, I think that is the cue to say, probably our rambles are done.
And the shenanigans are all tied up and finished, right?
Yes.
So we'll just say bye.
Bye. Have a good week.